I feel like you gotta wake up every day and you gotta fight for happiness because it's not something that just falls in your lap, but especially coming from where I come from. Like, you have to work towards it every single day. And I don't feel like in that job I was working towards it. I was just collecting checks. Whereas now, even if I'm not collecting a check off something, I'm so excited to do it because it's what I really want to do.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today we got a very special guest in the building. She's produced over 25 videos for No More Heroes. I don't know the exact count. I couldn't find it.
Way more than 25.
How many do you think it is?
I think I've probably done over like, I say 150, 200 videos. Too
Current
many.
manager of Mello Buckz.
Yes,
And shit,
sir.
just produced the hottest video out of Chicago.
I know. Crazy.
Point me to. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Remi. Call me Big Rem sometimes. I don't know how that name started, but it just coined itself, I guess.
Hey, don't lie. You put it on yourself, right?
I did, because it was a manifestation. I feel like if I want to be the biggest, I just have to say it. So I work with No More Heroes. My official title is like Director of Project Management, but it's, any project that they have, I work on. In some way, shape, or form, even if I'm not like spearheading it, I've like touched it in some way. So yeah, I currently manage Mello Buckz. Everybody know Mello Buckz, the hottest artist in the brack right now. And then I also do a content series called Red Light Freestyles, where I just basically get a whole bunch of up and coming artists and I just put them on the platform for the world to hear.
The red light freestyles, they be going crazy.
You like them?
I think the concept is dope. Now, the last one I watched, it was too red.
Literally, you sound like Locke and Brandon right now. Like, we are still trying to figure out like the perfect mix. It's so hard. Like, I've been working on it for like a year, because it was already a thing before. Locke and Brandon, I guess, just got too busy to work on it. But I really liked it, and and they wanted to bring it back. So I was like, yeah, like, let me, do it. And they were like, yeah, this is your shit. I have a partner named Josh. He takes photos and stuff like that. He lives in LA now, but he lived in Chicago. We borrowed we borrowed some cash from No More Heroes to like get it started up. But within like the first year, I think we like broke even. We're able to like pay them back, but it's still like really hard. Like, we're still like working on the formula, trying to get it right. So we have a lot of creative discussions, but I mean, recently it's been a little harder because schedules have been a bit busier.
All of you've been going crazy, so definitely that's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah.
Let's take it back real quick. Take it back to point me to. Go ahead and talk about that process, how you even got started and put on that project.
I had been traveling a lot, like for a couple of weeks, and I was tired as. Can we cuss on here?
Yeah, you're good.
I was tired as fuck, and I like came home, was about to go to sleep, and my phone just kept ringing, and it was Laka. And I usually pick up his phone calls, but I was so tired. I'm like, we really have to talk about this when I get up. But I'm thinking it's him, and then I get another phone call, like 2, 3 more phone calls. So I'm just like, let me just pick up because it has to be serious or whatever. So when I see his call, I see another person's call, and it's like a video commissioner that I've worked with for a long time. I mean, I worked with in the past. He's like one of the biggest video commissioners in the industry right now. And
Hey, shout him out. Who is it?
Kareem Johnson, shout out to you. Yeah, I kept getting a call. Then he had texted me like, oh, Kareem's trying to put you on a project. Make sure you pick up his phone call. I was like, okay, cool. I called him, Kareem, and he was like, oh yeah, let's sis, we have a video, and we coming to Chicago, so we needed the hottest, producer to roll it. So I'm like, cool. I might be adding some words in there, but for the most part, he was like, I need you on the project. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, who is the artist? What is the song? He was like, it's Fendi the rapper, Point Me to the Sluts. I'm like, cool. I already saw the video for like, Point Me to the Sluts, like, or I've heard the song already, and I didn't think too much of it. And then he was like, it's the remix. And I was like, okay, this makes more sense. And he was like, "We're trying to keep it under wraps because it's Cardi B." And I'm like, "Can you repeat that?" Like, he was like, "Yeah, Cardi B is gonna be on it, but we have to keep it under wraps." And then from there, like I just started working on the project. It was a quick turnaround for like they like wanted it done in 2 days.
Damn.
So I got it ready for like 2 days because usually I work under pressure like that. I only get like a day, two, three if I'm lucky.
You put all that together in 2 days.
Yeah. And then they changed the date of the video. But it was like they pushed it further into the week, but then they wanted to add more to the concept. So it was like I got it ready for everything they wanted originally, but then when Cardi wanted to like add scenes and this and that, it was like we were running around trying to get that together, permits, all type of stuff, just to make sure like we were going to be safe and we were keeping it under wraps, because they did not want anybody to know that Cardi was coming to the city. Like people were texting me and they were like, "Oh, can we come to the video? Cardi's coming to the city." I'm like, "How did y'all know Cardi was coming to the city?" And how did you know to text me? So like when it started getting out, I was kind of nervous because I was working with a new production company and it was called Bazace Productions. It wasn't like a No More Heroes video, but we shot it at the No More Heroes studio. And I'm No More Heroes, so it was like, what I'm saying? We had our hand in it.
You've had a lot of practice runs with big artists in Chicago alone, right? You had off the top, I know PNB is not Chicago, but PNB, Rip, Polo G, G Herbo, all of these opportunities that helped you develop those skills and the knowledge to what you would need for this big video shoot. How do you feel like those situations helped you prepare for this?
It definitely taught me how to like handle bigger artists. I feel like that was my biggest thing because I've been on set with them. I knew like how to make sure everything they would like was there and it was set up properly. Like just for instance for Cardi's video, like she said like she was not trying to be like around hella people. Like that was the vibe I was getting, not necessarily what they were saying, but they were just like we needed to be cleared out, like stuff like that. And in situations where a super celebrity wants a building cleared and it's like 500 plus people here to see them and nobody's listening because it's like, Chicagoans, like everybody knows everybody. So it's like, you're not really talking to me type of thing. It was just chaotic. So like I know how to handle chaotic situations and just making sure that like I'm like always on point. Like, yeah, this is getting crazy over here, but like in the back of my mind I know like a superstar is in the back. So we got to make sure the chaos is controlled and in one area far away from whatever they're doing.
What does that look like for somebody who hasn't been on one of those sets?
I say if like somebody starts fighting or something, which hasn't happened to me on set, and God, I pray that it never happens on set. But if somebody's fighting in like an area where a video is about to be shot, um, just knowing how to like handle that situation and making sure it doesn't escalate so we can keep the video going. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just like breaking up a fight. It's like breaking up a fight and making sure everybody gets to the car and gets off the property. Stuff like that. And having the tools to do that. So like security, not even security, but like having the respect of the people that are there and the people that are around them so they know like, okay, like like Remy saying stop, like she not going to say stop for no reason.
And then maintaining the vibe even afterwards, right? Because that's one of the most important and crucial parts to creating this video. You got to create a vibe that people are going to watch this and be like, damn, I wish I was there. I wish I could have experienced it. That's how I felt when I saw the video. I'm like, damn, I wish I was there because I saw everybody I knew was there. I'm like, damn, it really be like that.
It was really like that though. Like some vibes like you don't have to create. Like everybody was so excited and happy. Not even just cuz Cardi was there, but it's just like Fendi got Cardi to Chicago. Like that's crazy. Like it hasn't been like a real super like international, you know what I'm saying? Like she's performed with Bad Bunny.
I've listened to Bad Bunny for a long time. I love Bad Bunny. Like that's my artist. But I genuinely feel like Cardi broke Bad Bunny in the States.
Yeah, she did.
Cause once they did the song, like it was takeoff for him and he knew. I don't even think his level of popularity rose like that after the song with Drake.
When she was tweeting about being with Bad Bunny, I even got more interested about being with Bad Bunny. And I'm not necessarily like the biggest fan of either of them, but I was interested when I saw, what was happening.
So then for you working with a star at this level, right? As big as Cardi B, what's a lesson you took away from her?
She was very pleasant, and I feel like if she could be a pleasant person being that like famous and stuff like that, I feel like everybody can do that because I've been with other celebrities who are not even on her level and they've been kind of rude. And I'll just be like, why are y'all so rude? Like I just don't get it.
I think it's almost like once you reach a certain point, you start to value the important things in life and you realize what's important, right? So for somebody like Cardi, it's probably at that point where it's like, man, all this other bullshit, like, I don't need to do this. I could really just disappear and be happy for the rest of my life.
I feel like it's also like just coming from like humble beginnings and like looking at somebody who's like been in your position and just like recognizing and understanding that and just valuing that cuz I don't think that when artists get to a certain level they really forget that like people behind the scenes they be working their ass off and artists just come through and rip shit up and really don't care. Like they'll be hours late. We'll just be waiting for them trying to see like if they're even gonna show up. But I do respect the artists who just be like, I value y'all too. Like even if it's just at the end of the shoot, they just be like, thank you. Even if they weren't really interactive with us at the end, like throughout the video, a thank you doesn't hurt.
You having flashbacks right now?
I'm definitely having flashbacks. So I just be like, why was that nigga so rude? Like, I don't understand. Like, and sometimes it be the drugs too. I'm not gonna lie. These niggas be perked out off X, lean, whatever the fuck the concoction of the day was. Like, that's what they're off of. And sometimes that brings out the worst in people. So,
You've been doing this music shit for a while and you've had a lot of big shit happening this past year. But before we get into all that, I really want to touch on, what got you into the music scene in the first place because this wasn't your original career choice. You went to school for finance,
how did you know that?
worked at Pepsi. But go ahead and tell the people how you got into the music scene.
I went to U of I. I graduated, worked for Pepsi. And like before I graduated from college, I was reading a lot of stuff about like post graduation depression. And I wanted to make sure that like I was keeping busy and not really falling into like the depression of not really having nothing else to do but go to work and come home. So I was always very like interested in music. Like I always listened to music. I'm like a big Nicki stan, like, even though it was kinda like I was working with Cardi, but I don't think that type of stuff affects me, like, I'm really a Nicki stan.
Still,
Yeah, still, like, like, Nicki.
we'll have the debate later, but go on.
Yeah. Just always being in pop culture, it was very interesting to me. And I had saw a post that Laka made, and he was like, "Oh, I'm looking for a producer, da 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 da." And I literally just swiped up on the post, and then he had me do a whole bunch of shit, like from writing lyrics down off songs, creating music videos. Like I did a creative video where I was like, I guess I was the creative director. I came up with some ideas for the video for Queen Key and Tay Money, and that was like my first time on like a set. And ever since then, I was just like, oh wow, like this is very cool. This is what I want to do. Just like putting everything together and just watching it come to life on camera was so cool to me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Creative direction was not for me because I'm not like super duper creative at all. They just kept trying to find new roles for me. But then I did the Pronto Spaz Out video that I was telling you about, like my first video that I ever produced. It was called, I don't know, but it was not Mexican. It was like Uno, Dos, Tres, Shit, Tato. You never heard it?
For the sake of the story, I do.
They gave me a budget and I did the video without like touching all the money that they gave me. And I guess they like fucked with that. So ever since then I just started like producing music videos. Like literally after that, I want to say like two, three, four more videos. We went to LA, did a video with Kid Leroy. It was like one of his first videos too, like one of his first budgeted videos. I don't know, but he was brand spanking new when I met him at this point. Like he really wasn't out there. And it was like it wasn't a lot of money, but I did terrible.
You did terrible in your point of view, or you feel like the video could have came out better?
The video came out great, but like as a producer, knowing what I know now, back then I did terrible.
What is technically your job as the producer?
The simplest way I could put it is like I'm just in charge of executing the director's vision from point A to all the way to point Z. And that includes like building teams, like a crew, um, making sure we're under budget, making sure everybody gets paid. That's the one I hate the most because Lord, people be literally texting me,
Blowing your shit up.
blowing my shit up. And it really don't be me. Like, I don't have the money in my bank account. I'm getting the money from another person and they like send it to me and I'm sending it out. Or if they're sending it out directly, but on their time.
They don't got a payroll company for this?
Most of them don't because like they're independent contractors and like payroll services are typically for like, employees instead of like independent contractors. So yeah, like post edit, making sure all the edits get there on time, just like everything in the video, like finding the editor, finding a colorist, like making sure we're getting deadlines from like the label, making sure we're hitting those, making sure the artist is comfortable.
So you're the person that's got to yell at everybody to be on time.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible job.
It is because like I'll be late. I'll be late as fuck. So I struggle with stuff and I have to set an example and it's just like, oh my God. That's like be the worst part. Cause I be trying to I be trying to chill on set, but I have to act a certain ways just so everybody's not so lax. Cause if they're lax, then we're never gonna finish the video.
So what was it that made you walk away from the corporate lifestyle? Because in a previous interview, you mentioned that you were unfulfilled.
I feel like what was missing was like literally the enjoyment of life. I was in college and I've been turned my whole life. Like I've really been lit my whole life. It's like I feel like I'm slowed down now to compare it to how outside I used to be. And when I graduated from college, like it was just it was just shit coming at me left, right, left, right. And I just realized that wasn't gonna stop. So if I went to work and did something that I really didn't enjoy, like I would just always be unhappy all the time. And I don't know, like I'm the type of person and I feel like you got to wake up every day and you got to fight for happiness cuz it's not something that just falls in your lap, but especially coming from where I come from. Like you have to work towards it every single day. And I don't feel like in that job I was working towards it. I was just collecting checks. Whereas now even if I'm not collecting a check off something, I'm so excited to do it because it's what I really want to do.
I feel that on a daily basis.
But I don't recommend people just quitting their job and shit. I'm real different. Like, I'm different. My mom is super supportive of me and my dreams. She lets me live at home. I break her off every now and then. And, just being able to, I have a really strong support system.
Do you feel like there was pressure to pursue that corporate lifestyle because of the cultural background you came up in?
Yes. My mom is very different from other Nigerian mothers. I was raised very in the culture, very in the musk, and there's a certain way she always wanted me to live my life and be, but she never controlled me to force me to live that way. She just showed me how it was and just let me pick my own decisions and do whatever I wanted. But when I first wanted to quit, everybody told me no. They was like, just wait, save up some money, wait, save up some money. I'm like, it was a few people that was go ahead, follow your dreams, sis. And I'll send you $20, here and there because you're gonna be broke while you do this. And as long as I was okay with the idea of not really having money all the time, They said go for it, and I was like, okay, go for it. I'm okay with that. If it means like I'm gonna get to where I really want to go.
So then how do you feel like No More Heroes has helped you find your identity now that, you've established yourself?
I feel like No More Heroes does a really good job of finding a motherfucker with potential and like really shaping that. I never wanted to be a producer my entire life. I understand the importance of creatives and visuals while a person is getting on. And I want to be a part of the process in every aspect I can be. So if it has to do with me, if I have to be, a part of the journey as a producer, then I'm going to do that because I really am invested in the artist. You know what I'm saying? So they helped me realize that, yeah, like you might not want to be a producer, but, maybe you can, maybe, be a manager or an A&R. So like I went through a training process. I'll say it's a training process, but everything be a little ghetto because at the end of the day, like they're a startup company.
Locka made all this shit up.
Locke and Brandon really made all this shit up, and they made me realize that their words are not law, end all, be all. And I even think that's important because it makes me challenge not like authority, but like it makes me challenge what everybody is saying because that is not end all be all. Like if somebody tells you no, you can still go ahead and find another way. Maybe not through that person, but you can get it another way. And I think that No More Heroes made me realize it because I've watched them take no's 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. I've watched them take no's and they've always bounced back. So just even watching that helped me in my career because I'm not afraid to like go for it. I'm not afraid to walk up to an artist. If I saw Cardi B on the street, I'll be a little scared or whatever, but I'll walk up to her and be like, I'm Remi, I do this, I do this. It Cause all she can say is no. You know what I'm saying? And if she say no, at least she know my name. Or she had an interaction. Or whoever it is. Maybe it's Drake. Shit, I was chasing his ass when he came to the city. If I met him and I'm just, hi, my name is Remi, you wanna do a red light freestyle? That nigga gonna say no. But now he knows what red light freestyles are. Now if he ever sees it, he's like, oh, okay, shit. I remember that little girl was talking about red light
You
freestyles.
actually pitched it to him?
No.
Oh, I thought you met him for a second.
I didn't meet Drake, y'all, but I'm coming for him. I feel like shit happens.
I mean, Sexy Red's getting up with Drake right now, so
She hot though. She need to be with Drake.
Drake's on the way, bro. Drake already knows who's next and finds a way to make it happen. He gives that cosign, and I mean, there's videos all about it on TikTok, right? Where people will say like Drake, I don't know, they say that Drake bites off new up and coming artists, but it's really like he's giving them the rub while staying relevant.
I feel like it's a trade-off in this shit. Like everybody's bartering something. Somebody's getting something from somebody. And if Sexy Red is the benefactor from that, I have no problem because I fuck with her. All that ghetto ratchet, be yourself authentically, that's what I like to see. Because I see bits and pieces of myself in her or like what I would like to be, just say whatever's on my mind whenever I want to. I fuck with that. So if Drake is hopping on the bandwagon or whoever, it's fine. She's benefiting from it. So yeah, shout out to both of them.
What specifically would you say you see yourself in her?
The ratchet shit.
The ratchet shit?
Like when I want to go outside, I feel like I have that type of side to me. When I want to go outside, take my shoes off with my friends, be in the house twerking, just doing fun stuff and just like literally being yourself because I don't feel like I'm always myself. I don't feel like I'm always myself in every setting. And just because I know the type of person I am, like I'm a lot.
What do you feel like holds you back from just being 100% yourself?
I just don't want to deal with the shit that comes behind not being accepted. And it's not like I need somebody to accept me to feel okay with myself. I just don't like how I'ma act. Cause if somebody says something about me, about the way I act, I'ma be irritated. And I'm gonna show my irritation. So in order to just not have to deal with that shit, I just be my real self around the people that I really know who fuck with me. Like I'm always be loud and ratchet around them. But when I go outside to lunch, when I'm meeting with another manager, I'm gonna just be like, oh, okay, cool. Until they show me that like they deserve to even see that side of me. Cause that side's really the lit side. That's the side you really want to be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's more of a I protect my peace kind of thing.
Threw a whole ranch party. That's how you know she's lit.
Yeah. Big Rum's 25th rodeo. It was super duper lit. I have fun. We had horses and shit, goat.
And if you really, really, really want to get to know you, just check out her Twitter. You'll find everything on there.
Oh, I feel like Twitter is really where I go to talk shit.
Man, you know, when you sent me the answer to the question, you know, what's been weighing on your mind, and you had said like toxic relationships and strained friendships. That was the night you were tweeting all that shit. I didn't pull those tweets, but you know what I'm saying? So I saw it all. I'm like, damn, I could really just pull this shit and we got the whole episode mapped out.
I just been in a series of niggas keep playing with me, and I'm just so tired of that shit.
What's going on that has made you say like, man, fuck this shit?
I just don't like being played with. Like that's the simplest way I can put it. Cause there's just so many situations and conversations where I feel like a motherfucker was just playing with me. And I don't know how to get it through somebody's head that like stop playing with me. I don't know how I'm so serious when I say stop playing with me because I don't like to be played with. And I feel like men try to like take advantage of me and situations, and I just be like, don't play with me because I'm not stupid. I may be busy, but I'm watching and I know what the fuck is going on.
Do you feel like you wear your heart on your sleeve?
I'm a Cancer. I'm so emotional.
Uh,
When I go through friendship breakups, like if I'm into it with my cousins, I'm so emotional because like that is really my support system. Like I'm close with the people I'm close with. It's no like, I'm really close with them. I call them for everything. So, and I do a lot for them. Like I may be more vocal than them about how much I love them, but the people who I love, I know how hard they come for me. So I come so hard for them, like in any way I can. And I just feel like that has gotten me in trouble, like wearing my heart on my sleeve because people don't deserve that type of shit from you. Like some people, you will do some shit for them and they'll just be like, somebody else could have did it for me.
what's coming to mind right now?
If you are just like there with the person throughout like any experience that they go through, whether it's just like a really bad time, a really good time, you were there supporting them, right? And after the time, even if you all separate, I don't think you being with somebody through bad shit, good shit means that you guys are locked in for life. I don't. I do not think that. But I do think there should be a certain level of respect that you have for that person. And once you don't have that respect for that person, I feel like that's where you fucked up at because you're not grateful. And I hate a ungrateful motherfucker. Because people be working hard to do whatever the fuck they just did for you. It wasn't easy for them either, but they were doing it and they did it. And I feel like you should respect at least that. Like you shouldn't look at somebody like, oh, somebody else could have did it because they didn't. I did. So when you can't even just respect that type of person, I just,
Dunzo. It's time to move on.
bro, that shit rubs me the wrong way. Like, just, cause I don't know. Like, I just treat people a certain type of way. I give everybody a certain level of respect no matter where they are. Cause, like I said, like, I literally started from, I don't even think I'm nowhere yet for real. I've started from literally nothing. And I just feel like I could still go back to that. So I respect every person, whatever they do. Like, even if you don't think they deserve respect, like I guess they do in some way. So I'm gonna get that to them. But once you start playing, child, that heart that literally turns into a devil. Like the shit, I'm not even proud of the shit that I done.
We got a series called Toxic Tales. Don't make me don't make me ask the question right now. I don't want to. I want to keep it serious for now.
Yeah, I've done some pretty toxic shit.
What's the most toxic one?
Taking a gift back from somebody because they didn't do something for me.
That's petty. Nah, yeah, that's petty. I don't know about toxic.
Well, maybe I'm not toxic, I'm petty. Because I will leave a motherfucker alone. Like, I'm not even, oh no, the most toxic thing I've ever done.
I know a girl that boiled her ex-boyfriend's phone because she caught him cheating.
Oh, baby, that's toxic.
She boiled the
That's
phone. I
not
mean,
shit.
how much worse do you
I
get?
done went to a nigga crib, fucked his whole crib up. Like, real life fucked his whole crib up. Like, we was fighting, like, fist fighting. Like, he literally has to physically throw me outside this house. I'm not proud of that shit, and I don't think it's cute. But I feel like, and I'm a real bitch.
What did he do to get you that mad?
That nigga was playing with me, and I told you earlier in this interview, I don't like to be played with. Getting calls while I'm with you, I don't give a fuck who it is. That's playing with me. After a certain time, I feel like all of our phones should be off.
I get that one.
I didn't even really care for real. When I went home and I was outside, I'm like, damn, like I just did all that and I really don't give a fuck. And it wasn't even because all of that happened. I just looked at the person, the situation. I'm just like, bro, like tomorrow I literally have to be up at 9 a.m. to do this. And I'm outside doing this over a nigga I really don't give a fuck about. Like, I mean, it's not like I don't give a fuck about the person, like I do, obviously, but it's like not this much. And I feel like that's the worst part of like wearing your heart on your sleeve. Like, once you kind of break it, damage it a little bit, it turns like cold for real. The next day I texted him, like, you mad at me? He never texted me.
No.
I hate when people mad at me. Like, I
No.
definitely did too much in that situation. And I own up to it. I did the fucking most. But like I said, I was being played with.
As somebody who's involved in entertainment and media, you understand like people's phones be going off at all times of the fucking day. Like when you had texted me at 12 at night or whatever, you be texting me at like 3 in the
Yeah, because that's when the fuck I leave the studio. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. I get everybody's busy. I don't try to insert myself. But I think I just, I don't know. I was going through a lot of shit too. Like, man, you ain't deserve that. I'm sorry, but it happened. Like, just don't think about it. Don't just, like, just kind of have to move on.
So let's take it back to this No More Heroes stuff, right? For you, what do you feel like made it home for you?
At one point, we all lived together. So it was fucking easy to think of these niggas as family because we literally waking up, going to bed, cooking meals together, taking, we had to share a bathroom and shit. It was like, I mean, the culture, they make it so easy to just speak your mind and say something. Like, they have strong personalities, don't get me wrong. Like, the type of person Locke is, like, you probably won't feel like you can say what you want to say. But once you actually get to know him, you'll be like, oh, I can say what I want to say. And even Brandon, he's like the total opposite. I've never felt uncomfortable excuse me, I've never felt like uncomfortable trying to like speak my mind. Obviously it takes time. Like, you got to get to know a person before you feel like you could just be like, oh, fuck these niggas in a random place and feel like everybody's gonna feel what you're saying. But yeah, like, we just talk about everything. We have meetings, we have calls like every day, or like we used to, like, every day, just making sure like everybody's on point. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Asking us questions, constantly involving us in everything that happens. It's easy to feel like you're a part of something. I feel like that's why I go so hard for it, because act like, I mean, shit, they fuck with me like I'll fuck with them too. And they put me on to shit.
And at the end of the day, like having a good team is the most important thing. You need to have people who are gonna back you no matter what. And those days where you feel like you can't carry on, they're gonna carry that weight for you. Everybody has those situations where it feels like it's too much. And even for me, like today, I was over here thinking like, man, why the fuck do I do this shit every fucking week? And those are just thoughts. Those are passing thoughts that you need the people behind you are gonna push you to get over that shit. But I thought of the Drake song, The Remorse. It's funny because you mentioned Drake, right? All these IOUs, it's hard for me to be keeping track. Friends that dedicated their life to just keeping me intact. I mean, even with a salary, you can't put a price on that.
Hmm.
And that's really like the basis of having the proper team. And for you, you created a new team. Your partnership with Mello Buckz, it's not only just helping her elevate her career, but helping her through the journey of life and everything that may go right, wrong, bad, good. You have to be there to help guide her and show her what your opinion is and hopefully point her in the right direction.
Yeah.
How do you feel like she's helped you grow as a manager?
I don't know, it's crazy, like, we literally live, like, 5 minutes away from each other, and we never knew each other. Like, I think I saw a video of her, um, doing, like, the Off My Block. It was, like, she was doing a freestyle, and I don't know, like, when me and her first linked up, like, she was just so real and raw, and I feel like as a manager and as a new artist, we're literally taking the journey together. We've been through so much shit, like we've cried to each other a lot, and it really just fucking it just started. And I feel like she always makes me feel like, Remy, say what you want to say. Don't be scared. Cause like I told you, I don't really like putting myself out there or being my 100% self, especially if it's in front of a lot of people I don't know. I'm a really just, like do what I do what I need to do while I'm there and just kind of leave. But she always makes me feel like, don't be scared to say it. Like, say it. Like, what is somebody gonna do to you? Say your opinion. Just always be on point too. That's one thing she definitely taught me, be on point. I swear, from the time we started working together, the term be on point just means so much more shit than when I first thought I knew what be on point meant. So yeah, she just really gave me confidence to like stand up for not even myself, but like for other people, because she does that a lot. Like if I've always done that, but I feel like I've done it in a different way. Um, but definitely like standing up for others. And I love that quality. And I love seeing that quality about her, no matter how it's shown. I think that's a real, true, genuine thing to have. And I feel like I've become more like, okay, like this is wrong, y'all. Like, especially being a music video producer, like shit like, oh, they want girls for like instances like they want girls for a music video and they request a certain type of girl because they feel as though another type of girl isn't up to a certain beauty standard. And situations like that, I want to say something like these these hoes weak. Like I really got bad hoes. I mean bad women too. Like just because they're darker skinned or whatever the case is, I don't feel like they should not have this opportunity. And before, I would never say something like that. But when the Point Me to the Sluts video came out, or Point Me To, my like director, like and my EP, they were definitely like, go crazy. They don't have any problem, but I don't know who felt away. But it was just like I just wanted to make sure that everybody was seen, and I feel like I just made sure that everybody was seen. Like I stood on that.
But even that opening scene for the video, it demonstrates that. Whose idea was that?
It was a director's idea,
That was raw.
and it was all bad, all different shades, and I feel like that should be a thing. Like we should continue that, and that's just like one example of like what she does. Like it made me feel like yeah, like do that too. Especially with it just be small shit like that where you just don't think too much of it, but that impacts somebody's life. Like those girls in that video, I'm sure they was happy and excited to be in that video. Like I don't think there's no joke about it. Some people want to be like they're taking a journey to get to a path and it looks different, or they're taking a journey to get to an end goal and it looks different. And being in this video helps them get there. So I don't want to be the person to tell them like, no, you can't do it just because you don't look a certain way.
What do you feel like Mello has helped you learn about yourself personally, not just as a manager, but as a person?
I'm not standing on business for real because a- now every day I literally wake up and work every day. even if it's for like 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes I could work the whole entire day, but I'm actually working on something every day. And before becoming her manager, I couldn't honestly say that. And now it's just like I'm in the habit of always making sure I'm in the studio. Like I'm gonna go to the studio tonight. I was at the studio yesterday and I'm not even rapping. I might not even be in the studio with my artists. Like I could be in the studio with my friends, but just being just like just working, just making sure I'm out there. She made me realize like I was not working for real, but now I'm working for real. And I feel like it's like shown the way I've just started like actually working hard and not just saying I'm working hard because I'm seeing results and it feels better than just like faking it, I would say.
Has there been a specific moment that made you question this path that you chose?
I question the path maybe like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like sometimes I'll be like, damn, what if I just did all of this and I literally end up as a dentist or something? You know what I'm saying? So I just take every day as every day because right now, in the foreseeable future, this is what I want to do. And I don't think outside factors affect me, like people not fucking with me or a situation not going right, because in my body, I feel like this is what I want to do. And if it's something you want to do, you're going to find another way. Like I said, if somebody tell you a no, you find a way around it. Get it done.
I think about that shit every day, right? I've
Mm.
done 110 episodes and I still think every day, like, what if I just end up being a teacher for the rest of my life? Like, for real. I just end up sticking with the career I'm at right now. All that work that I did, was it for nothing or what did I gain from it? Those networking opportunities, those people I've met, how much can I build on that, but also, maintain a genuine relationship with people?
I don't feel like even if I became a dentist, that what happened in the past was for nothing because I feel as though I helped people get to where they wanted to go. I've helped careers. Shit, I've helped niggas get $1 million deals. So I feel satisfied. Shit, even if it's not out there in the public or people don't really know what's up, I feel genuinely good inside when I go to sleep. I'm like, damn, I really,
That's a raw
you know
feeling.
what I'm saying? Like, and I might not even see a dollar off of it. And even though I feel like I should probably see it off of it, I still feel good about it because I don't know. I don't know what that is inside of your body that confirms that feeling, that like genuine feeling of this just feels good. I don't know what that is, but when I go to sleep and I'm just like, okay, today we was at the studio and I said this, I feel great because he took that note, he put it in his song. She took that note, she did something different. So just having that experience and that feeling when I'm a dentist and I'm going to work and helping somebody with their teeth, I'm gonna feel good because I'm like, damn, yeah, I used to work with Herb and them. This one of their songs, I'm gonna play it.
But it still is a wild concept to think that all the work that you've done, you could just be living a completely different life. And I'll bring it back to a conversation I had with my cousin one time. I had been on a couple episodes saying that, I aspire to reach certain heights in my life because I know my parents' ceiling is my floor. I know that wherever they peaked at, I need to go even higher because if I stay at my floor, that just means that I didn't do enough and I didn't try hard enough. Now my cousin, he used to rap. He was a good rapper too. And that's not me being biased, he was actually a good rapper. But he had told me, he's like, not everybody has the opportunities to continue to pursue what they dreamed of. He specifically told me, he's like, you don't think I wanted to make it big? You don't think I wanted a record deal? But that's not how my life worked out. My life worked out where I started a family, I own a property. I am content, I am happy with that. But still at the end of the day, my belief is I need to go harder and I need to do better than what I've done already because it would be a disservice to everybody else who came before me. You know what I'm saying? For you being in an industry that's male dominated, right now you are a catalyst for women in the industry. The women that are taking over the Chicago rap scene right now, you guys are huge.
I feel so grateful to even be a part of this movement because once I first got into the industry, it really wasn't like this. I have always like fucked with female rap. When I was younger, I would write down Nicki Minaj raps. Like I have this little notebook and I was trying to rap too. I feel like it's just so amazing to see. Like I always say, like, famous Dex, like Sexy Red is our famous Dex, and niggas hate Sexy Red. I'm just like, why? Like she literally does what Dex does or did, and I don't know why a woman being in this space makes people, even women, sometimes feel uncomfortable. Like I see so many bad comments about how Sexy Red portrays herself or how Nikki looked today or just catty stuff that really has nothing to do with them just like putting out music that people enjoy. I like Ski. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like
lit song.
I love it. I say ski when I wake up because just, pull up. It's really that. And I feel like men always get away with doing bare minimum shit. Like if a woman wanna come through the door and do bare minimum shit too, fuck with her like y'all just was fucking with this nigga who just did nothing. It's the same thing. Too not to say like sexy red or famous sex not doing shit, but you know, when famous Dex broke the internet and came into the industry, it was like he changed the game. Nobody was really way like making, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like she's doing that for women. Nobody really talking about they booty hole being brown and making little catchy phrases that we're all singing like every song. I mean, Ice Spice maybe, but I connect with Sexy Red because she does this shit that I do. And I feel like if I'm connecting with her, why is that a problem?
Walking into a male dominated industry, what obstacles do you feel like you faced when building your brand and building a reputation for yourself?
I thought my biggest obstacles was going to be like getting men to respect me. But as I just worked harder and harder, that just went out of my head because it's not only men respecting me, like I want everybody to respect me. So I'm not thinking like, oh, this nigga not gonna respect me. I'm worried about the female CEO in that room respecting me. And that's just, I mean, I don't know, like I feel like my biggest obstacle right now is that like cultivating a community of women who support me and want to see me go to the next level. And just getting mentorship from women. I think that's like the biggest obstacle right now I face in the industry cuz I'm not thinking twice about a nigga. I've been done with that. Like breaking through the doors, seeing what these women do, make me think less of that. I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, 2, 3 years ago, I was not feeling like that. I'm shy. Like I don't want this nigga to try to talk to me. Like now a nigga know like don't. Like this is not the setting. This is not the space. I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So for that, I'm super grateful. But just trying to cultivate a community of women that like really support you, because a lot of this shit just be for the internet. Having women actually like rooting for you, putting you on projects, taking you to work with them one day, even something as simple as a phone call, just helping them work through the growing pains of being green in the industry. That's been my biggest problem cuz this shit, you make up your own rules every day. And when it's that loose and wild and has no fucking rules, you need guidance. And I feel like Brandon and Locke have always been like mentors, but they can only understand a certain amount of shit. They can only really care about a certain amount of shit. Like some things is just how niggas be and how niggas understand situations. That's how I be, child. I don't know why. But having a woman, I feel like would just make it easier for me. And not easier like I wouldn't have to work hard, but I just feel like I have somebody to talk to about the crazy shit that I just see men do and how I feel and how to just get through that, get past that. Like, give me guidelines on how to act when I go into these places. Like, how do I make sure a nigga don't talk to me or, like, try to be inappropriate with me? And even if he does, like, what are the next steps to help me get through that? And just finding that you'll, like, have to kiss somebody's ass, which I mean, shit, we all kiss ass in different ways, shapes, or form. I'm real. I kiss ass all the time. Like, it's just a part of this game.
That's networking
That's
101.
networking 101. People wanna act all big and bad, like, no, some people have worked harder than you to get to somewhere, like, you can't just walk in a place and be like, "This my shit, and everybody here gotta help me get," like, no.
Not having that mentorship or not having somebody that could truly relate to you on all aspects, how have you maintained your mental?
Having security in myself, cause I just felt like people are just gonna have to fuck with me when they fuck with me. Cause at this point, it's too much ass kissing. Now I feel like my pride is going out the and it's just like unnecessary. I feel as though it gets to a certain point where it's just like, Remy, like you probably have to do this on your own, but you're prepared to do this on your own. Don't think that you need somebody to help you through this because you really got it. You have all the tools. You've done this thing a million times. And even if you haven't, I will literally chat GBT anything. Like, I don't give, you know what I'm saying? Google search. I can figure it out on my own. And I'm just not scared of hard work. So, not having somebody to help and guide me through it, it sucks sometimes, but I'm grateful for the people who are already here doing that task because without them, like I would really be in this bitch just doing whatever. And so I just take everything as it is. Like I'm grateful for what I have and I'm not thinking about what I don't.
When you talk about doing it on your own, do you mean stepping away from No More Heroes or do you mean as far as other companies?
Even if I'm not necessarily like working on a project with No More Heroes, that's how I mean. Like I feel like No More Heroes, they support. But like I said, we just did a video with Bizet Production. So I feel like that's me being on my own. Even though like I involved them in some way, that was still me being on my own, just using the resources that I already have and just tapping into that. And a lot of them was those resources, but that is Chicago. You get what I'm saying? So like it's not like a whole separation type of thing. It's just like I don't make all my money through No More Heroes. I be making money other ways, and I'm doing that shit on my own.
And you put in the work to do it. At the end of the day, you're the one that had to go through all these trials and tribulations. Brandon and Laka put you through the gauntlet to teach you these things. And although, I'm sure they hope that you continue to work with them and continue to build the brand and put those skills to use for their brand. They also understand like, hey, there's bigger fish to fry, there's bigger projects to get done. And
They are so like, Remy, go do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, cause they know. I just feel like they're honestly, I feel like they tired of paying me. I'm just playing, but I feel like they've always been supportive. They're not the type to like try to hold me or take me. And people have literally been like, "Oh, work for me." But you can't work with them. Like I don't know how you're gonna do it if you do both. Stuff like that. And I just shit, they always tell me like go take the opportunity. Like go away from us. Like we understand. Like just go. Like in order for me to be a valuable player to them, I need to go out and do shit that's outside of them. Like all these videos that I do with them, yes, like that's where I got that from. But I stand stronger if I can do that shit on my own. Like if I can go outside and do a budget that's 100K plus and come back and those skills and those people that I met, bring them back to No More Heroes. Yeah, like who would want me to just be under this same umbrella and only learn what you guys are learning? No, like they want me to go learn other shit, bring that shit back, teach everybody else. And that's the only way everybody's gonna grow.
so last thing I want to touch on was the things you mentioned to me. We touched on the toxic relationships, but there's a bigger part to that. There's strained friendships. And when it comes to strained friendships, a lot of that comes from not having time for people, outgrowing people, and just the toll of your schedule, right? Just like you said, I don't have time for a lot of things. And when I do, it's like you need to focus on work, 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 work. You guys are going to Rolling Loud this weekend, so why was it strained friendships that was weighing at the top of your mind?
Outside of like all relationships, I feel like friendships are like important. These are people who are not necessarily your family. You're not romantically involved with them. They just fuck with you just off the strength of you being you. And I value those a lot. And I feel like on my journey, I've just been straining relationships. And it's so sad because some of the relationships, like, I feel like I'm the problem. Like, recently, I missed one of my closest friends' birthdays. And, like, when I realized I missed it, because he told me I missed it, I was so crushed. I'm like, damn, he like, maybe we should be different type of friends. Let's just have a level of expectation. I'm like, no, bro. Like, you are literally one of my closest friends. Like, I don't want to like not be close, especially because I missed your fucking birthday. And the gag was I was really planning this nigga a surprise party. And then that fell through because he's not really the surprise party type of guy. And that really hurt my feelings because I know I hurt his feelings. And I just hated that was the worst. Even though I didn't really like how he texted me. I did appreciate his emotions and his feelings, and I understood where he was coming from. Because if a motherfucker missed my birthday, I'm literally cutting you off. So I just have been thinking about that a lot, like working so much and being so busy to the point where you don't have time for people that you love and care about. I don't think that's okay. And I don't want to live my life like that because it's more to life than like working and money. And it just seems so easy because like I like what I do, so I can do it every day. But sometimes I get lost in that. And I need to not lose myself in that because there are other people around me. Like my world is bigger than just me. I also feel like on the other hand too, they already have a perception of why I'm being this way. And it could be because like they think I'm big headed or getting to like and I don't feel like that at all. Like I literally just wake up, have 10 things to do, and then the third thing leads to four other things. And I'm just now all confused about what my actual day was supposed to even be like.
It feels like I end up asking this question a lot at the end of my interviews. And it is, who really is Remi then?
Remy is literally just a girl. Like I feel like she's a girl with like really big dreams and the sweetest heart, but she does have a side that needs to be controlled when she gets out of the sweet side. And she's a real hard worker. I think at the end of the day, that's all she wants to be like is somebody. And like being what her mother was is not enough, or accomplishing what her father had is not enough. She just wants more and she's hungry and she not gonna let a nigga or nobody stop her.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate the conversation, you being so open and giving us your name, image, and likeness to work with.
You know, it's gonna be expensive one day, so
I really appreciate it. I hope you continue your career with CRZ.
CRZ is unfortunately has been dismantled.
Skirt, skirt.
I let that nigga eat. No, did I tell us that's a ski skirt skirt? Skirt skirt. Yeah, that's when I used to be a rapper.
And go ahead, look it up on SoundCloud.
Don't look that shit up, y'all. Leave that shit in the past. And I do want to say, like, I do really like Sad Boy Radio. I think that y'all finna be up next.
I appreciate it. Make sure you go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Sad Boys for real. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
Broken pieces, who's to blame?